So all my life I've been telling her, do it for the plot, just do it for the plot. And somewhere along the way, we have just truly lost the plot. Yes. So welcome to the first episode of our podcast. I'm Vp.
I'm Malvika.
And I cannot believe that we have just lived in Bangalore for so long and moved out of our small cities.
How long has it been for you since you've moved?
I think it's almost been 9 years now.
9 years, that's like
Yeah.
almost a decade. What the
Like
fuck?
Bangalore is like my second home right now.
Bangalore, I would call it my home because I don't think I felt more at home anywhere else.
Did you miss home though?
I was never homesick. Like, I've never asked you this question. Have you ever been homesick?
Actually, I have. Mostly because of my mom's food.
Do you know that I almost forgot how my mom's food tastes like? Like, I don't remember it anymore. Like, I don't crave for it anymore. And I always thought I would.
Yeah, I constantly crave for my mom's food. But the thing is, Bangalore food is actually pretty good.
But how was it when you first moved? Like, I never met you when you directly just like came to Bangalore.
Yeah. So I think it took a lot of convincing for me to move to Bangalore. Like I had to physically beg my parents to let me go to Bangalore because Bangalore used to be a place where people were like, don't send your daughters to Bangalore. They're gonna get into drugs and men. So that was a problem we had. But somehow I finally convinced them. And mostly because when I was moving to Bangalore, my options were to go to a college next to my house.
Oh my god, that is
Yeah.
such a disaster.
Yeah, and I was like, no, that option sucks. I do not want to stay here. Like, the whole point of studying so hard was to get out of that city. Like, that's why I was studying, to get out of there. And they were like, no, your only option is a college next door. And what I did was, I didn't apply anywhere. And what does Indian parents, like, what do they fear more than sending their kids away? A gap year.
Oh my god. I can't even imagine how you went through that.
Yeah, so that's why they finally sent me to Bangalore.
You know, for me, it was way different. Like, usually parents are like, don't send your kids to Bangalore and all that. That never happened with me. Because half my family is already in Bangalore, not that I meet them.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that we have family here and education-wise, it's any day better than Kerala.
Yeah. Your course also had better options here.
And I didn't have that course anywhere else also.
Yeah. I think that's what's important. Even I picked a course which was not available in the whole of Kerala. Like, that wasn't available. I took a triple major, which was psychology, sociology, and economics. And Kerala didn't have that course back then. So,
Kids, pick a course that is
Yeah.
not there in your hometown and then move out. This
Yeah.
is your trick to moving out of your hometown.
yes.
How different is it now though? Like, how do you think it'll be if we move to a new city now?
I think it would be a little more harder because when you're coming for college, you actually, you stay in a hostel, you have people, you meet people, you're forced to meet people also. And you have, classes every day. So you do find friends, you can make easily. But moving right now, if I'm moving alone, it would definitely be hard for me because I've been in Bangalore for 9 years. It's like my comfort space. Moving out of my comfort zone like that would be extremely tough. And I don't think any other place has the weather like Bangalore.
I remember asking you if, we should move, and then you're like, we always need a house in Bangalore.
Yeah.
But I think when we also came to Bangalore the first time, like we were leaving our small town, we were like moving to a bigger city, I think we were like way younger. And we were like
Yeah.
way more excited to be
I was so
there,
excited.
out there in the real world. Your
Yeah.
parents are not controlling you.
Yeah.
You're living by yourself. You're living with a bunch of girls in a girls' hostel. Life was just so much more exciting back then.
I loved staying in a girls' hostel. Like, that's my best experience. Like, my favorite memories come from my hostel. And it's such a beautiful experience. Although my parents put me in a hostel which had a 6 p.m. curfew. Like in Bangalore, imagine. There was a 6 p.m. curfew.
My parents were supposed to put me in the nuns hostel in our college, right? So both of us went to the same college. We went to Christ, and there's this nuns hostel.
Yeah.
And my parents were very keen on putting me there. And then I was like, no, I don't want to go there. I want to go for a private hostel kind of a thing, because obviously the curfew there is like 6 p.m. and stuff. but they didn't have any slots, so I
Yeah.
had to move to a private hostel. And VP, you also ended up staying with me in the hostel.
At one point, I was kicked out of my house, and then she sneaked me into her hostel.
Yeah.
Fun
You did
memories.
not. No one knew that you were staying with
No
me.
one knew that. Yeah, you also sneaked a guy into your hostel.
I didn't do that. I didn't do that. The whole story is we had a friend of ours and a bunch of girls just decided to sneak him in a box.
Not in
Oh
a
my
box.
God.
Was it
In
in
a
a suitcase? It
yeah,
was in a
that's-
suitcase. They sneaked a guy in a suitcase, and he was tiny, so that's
Yeah, he was
fine.
very tiny, and like a lot of us were involved in the process. So we
Yeah.
just like asked him to sit, and then we.
I think it was
Pulled him
very
in.
lucky that they didn't get caught, because then you would have been in the
And
newspaper.
you know, a few months later, there was this huge news.
Yeah,
that
in
revealed-
Manipal, where a guy got
Oh my
sneaked in a
God.
suitcase.
But it was crazy. I think if I start telling people what all I've done in my hostel, they will be like, "You're so much more calmer when you have your own house in Bangalore."
Yeah, so
like we
much.
have such sorted lives right now.
Yeah.
We're all always home.
Yeah.
We don't have anything exciting happening. But when we were not allowed to do anything, when
Yeah,
we were in
and
a
when-
hostel, we were just doing all sorts. At least I was doing a lot
Yeah,
of
true.
crazy stuff.
When parents are so scared that you are going to get out of hand, and they're like, we're going to put you in a hostel with a curfew so that we can still micromanage you and everything. But then that's when I think kids rebel so much, and they want to do everything because everything is forbidden.
Yeah, I think a lot of my friends, when I started out in college and all, kids from very, very strict families and conservative families are the ones who just went like
Crazy.
all out. Like they were like dressing the way they wanted to, which I am also very supportive of. Like,
Yeah.
you dress however you want to. But like they just went all out. They just wanted to try everything,
Yeah.
do everything. And that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Because you're stepping out of your house, your comfort zone for the first time. So it's a big world out
And you're
there.
getting
So-
all that freedom all of a sudden, and you just don't know how to navigate it,
Yeah.
even for you.
Yeah, I think back then the best thing that we looked forward to was going to a club,
Yeah.
which we hate doing right now.
Yeah, we hate it. But back then, it's like every day we were at a new club. And the funniest thing is, in Bangalore, for most ladies, drinks are free. But this madam comes and she goes and she's paying like 5K and buying drinks. And I'm like, why are you buying? It's free for women.
Yeah, it was my first week in Bangalore, and I did not know that, there's something called ladies' night where you can just
Yeah.
enjoy the privilege of being a woman, go
Yes.
get a free drink. So I just decided to spend 5K on alcohol. Oh my God, I still wouldn't do it.
Yeah, exactly. That's poor money management.
Yeah, I think that is another thing that you learn when you live away from home the first
Yeah.
time. Managing your money, living within means. Because back then you're also relying on your parents to send
Yes,
you money
yes,
every
definitely,
month.
yeah.
So it's not like you can go all out. Because I remember spending that 5K and having nothing else left with me as well.
And it's also pretty hard to make your parents understand how expensive a metropolitan city is. Because coming from a smaller city, it's very easy to manage things. Everything is very cheap. But once you come to Bangalore and they're like, what do you mean you spend 1K on food? And it's like, that's how expensive it is. You go out as a group, and then that's how much you just have to pay.
In Bangalore, my parents sent me 3,000 apart from my mess fees and hostel fee and everything. 3,000 to just spend. And I'm just like, what will I do with 3,000? But I remember managing my
Yeah.
expenses within that money.
Yeah, I think we used to manage our finances pretty well then.
And I think being away from home for the first time teaches you a lot in that way.
Definitely, definitely. I had to do my own laundry. That was hard.
Oh, I was doing other people's laundry. This is, I think, my biggest aversion towards doing laundry even now, because I ended up doing my roommate's laundry. She was, oh my God. This is also another experience
Yeah,
that
I
you
know.
end up living with people from very different backgrounds. So not everyone's going to live the same way that you do. Not everyone's as hygienic as you are. Not everyone's going to do laundry like you would on a weekly
It is
basis.
so weird that you used to wash her
Oh,
undergarments.
please, we are not revealing this. But I had to live in that room, and I had
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, I'm done telling another person to be clean, so I'm just gonna clean your mess up.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also think when you move to another city, okay, this is a very funny experience that I had. And keep in mind, this was 8 years ago. When I moved the first time, I was in Jain, right? And there were a lot of, everyone's so cool when I'm coming here. Like, I'm the idiot, how Kangana comes in that movie, London to Mukuda movie. She comes like an idiot to, Queen. She comes like an idiot to that place and she doesn't know anything. I'm coming like that. And everyone's so cool. So they're like, let's go out. The first day of college, it's like, let's go out. And I'm like, okay, let's go out. We're all going out. And that's the first time I'm seeing hookah. And I'm seeing women smoke. And I'm like, huh? Women smoke? I had no idea. Like, I'm like, see, that's the thing. I'm coming from such a small city where it's so, there's so many biases around it. And I have no idea about it. Imagine if your parents just found out that you sneaked a guy into the hostel.
Okay. First of all, context. This is not a guy I was dating or seeing.
Yeah, the funniest thing is he wasn't dating anyone.
He wasn't dating any of us from the girls' hostel.
Yeah, why did he even have to sneak in then?
The best part about sneaking a guy like him in is that he was very small.
Yes.
Like he was really small. He like really fit into a suitcase. And I think we just did it for the thrill of it. I think back then we were just up for anything and everything. Everything's so new. We just want to go all out. We were just like very crazy back then.
And you just stayed the night?
So it was a Saturday night. I remember this very clearly. It was a Saturday night. We knew our warden's schedule for Saturday nights. She would go out early. It's a Saturday night. She would just be like, okay, just tell the guard bhaiya that take care of everyone. I'll be out for a bit. So we knew that she's not going to be there.
Okay.
And we were just like, okay, get some beers and you also come to our hostel. All of us girls are there. And we just snuck him in. I don't know why we did that.
So he's a girly pop.
He is a girly pop. Of course he's a girly pop. That's why we snuck him in. My friends actually brought people they were dating in and they did not sneak them in a suitcase because obviously the guy was way bigger and taller and he wouldn't fit into a suitcase. They actually made him dress like a girl and we had cameras.
What was he wearing?
So, I think he was wearing her clothes only. But like something on top of his head and everything just to walk through the camera so that when the warden was not there.
Are you telling me the security guy didn't catch any of this?
The security guy was our man. Like he would be like, please, we'll do. And he'll be like, okay. We used to bribe him also. This is a private hostel, by the way.
Yeah.
My God.
Such crazy things happen in our hostel.
I'm not creating a good reputation for Bangalore. I realize when I'm telling people that we snuck guys into our hostel, this is not a good reputation for anyone who wants to come to Bangalore.
Yeah, but that's fine. This is where the interesting things happen.
But this is also something that you only do the first year of your college.
Yeah.
After that, you just really mellow down. Like, I remember having, this is not me as a person, in our girls' hostel, we had a timetable.
Which parties to go to.
Yeah, which parties to go to. So, I still remember it by heart. That Monday was Simon Says.
Yeah.
Simon Says was the place, right?
So, yeah.
Tuesday's Plan B.
Wednesday's Indigo.
Yes. Yeah. Thursday was Gillies.
Happy Brew.
No, Thursday was Happy
Brew, yeah.
Friday, Gillies. Then Saturday, Sunday, you can go anywhere.
Yeah. That's crazy we had the same timetable because we used to be in different hostels. I think it's just the first year when you feel like partying and giving it your all for that era, but then you just, get over it.
But that's also because everyone's also in the same phase that you want to go out. Like, you don't want to sit at home.
Yes.
It really dies down. Like, my second year, I did not want to go to any of these places. The max I would go in my second year would be Plan B to have chicken wings. Like, if you're not from Bangalore, then there's this place called Plan B in Bangalore, which has really good chicken wings. And that's where I first met you.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And I offered her my chicken wings. So...
You didn't offer me you did.
See, that's called friendship.
Yeah. So first time me meeting VP is I walk into Plan B in Kormangla and there's a bunch of people sitting in that table.
Yeah.
And I see this girl who's just like so into her bucket of chicken wings. She's like eating it and she has like masala all over her face.
It's called protein.
And the first thing she says to me without like hi or anything is, try this. This is so tasty. Like try it. And I'm like, this girl is so cool. I don't know why I thought that, but I was like, this girl is so cool.
Yes.
And I did try it and it was very nice.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it.
But this is what, like 5 years back?
Yeah, we met like 5 years back.
Yeah.
That was a good time in Bangalore.
And that was my first year in college and you were in your third year.
Yeah, and the funniest part is, I used to tell her that all your first year friends, they're not gonna be there for you. And she's like, what is wrong with you? Why are you being so rude to me? Why do you think these are my best friends for life, constant people?
I was so triggered whenever VP told me that your first year friends are not gonna be there for you. I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
They're
these are my girls
best
and
friends.
all.
They're like my girls.
Yeah. Where are they now? In
I
your
don't
blocked
know.
list.
They're not on my block list.
Yeah.
Some of them are.
Yeah.
Oh my god, some of them are. But
That's why I always listen to people who are elder to you.
But you tell me about your first year. I actually want to know more about that phase of your life.
So I studied in Jain first because they would take students any time of the year. So my parents were like, you're not taking a gap year, you need to go there. So I started off in Jain, and that's when, the culture there is just crazy. There's, few classes and everyone's just going for a party in the afternoon, which is just crazy. Like, what do you mean? Like, everyone's just going drinking every day, smoking every day. That's crazy, because I feel when you are coming from a place like Kerala to a big city like Bangalore, and there are so many people around you and they are perceived as cool, and smoking and drinking is perceived as cool. So you are in a very situation where, okay, do I succumb to the peer pressure and do I do those things to become cool? But I was very not a fan of it, because it's just not my thing. And there was so much of peer pressure around it because everyone's doing it, and that's the only way you can be friends with them. Either you can be friends with them by going out and drinking and smoking, or else you're not invited to anything.
I think, but as much as we just laugh it off, peer pressure is very, very, very real.
Yeah.
My exposure to alcohol did not happen through college or moving to a new city, even though I did grow up in a small town. My family, when it came to alcohol, we have a very healthy approach to it. Like, no one's overdoing it. It's a very family thing. Like, I remember this.
It's a family thing.
No, that's what I'm trying to tell you is that when I was about to leave my town, I had a proper sit down with my parents, with my uncle, with my grandfather and everyone, where they were like, you know what, we want you to try alcohol, so that this is not something that someone's giving you and you don't know how to handle yourself when you're having it.
I love that.
Which I think is the best thing they've done.
Yeah.
That introduced me to alcohol in a very healthy way. Teach me when to stop, not to overdo it. Because I saw so many of my friends just never drink in their life, be exposed to alcohol, and not know how to handle themselves.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know how to handle alcohol in your system, things can go really wrong for you. Especially in big groups. It's not just people your age. It's people from different backgrounds. It's people who are older than you. You're going to a club. Clubs can be a very scary place.
Yeah.
At least in my experience. I think anyone in a bigger city would tell you that clubs are scary if you've not been there for a while.
And I think a lot of people try to take advantage of you also when you're drunk, especially when they understand that, okay, this girl does not know how to handle her alcohol. So that is a very, that's a pathway to bad experiences.
To be a young girl and be drunk and not have anyone around you is like a nightmare. You do not want that for yourself. That is not cool.
Yeah.
But it's not just about drinking. It's about smoking. It's about being exposed to a lot of other things as well. I think that is how people start getting exposed to different kinds of drugs as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was really important that we become exposed to a lot of things also, so that you know what's happening around you. There's a huge cultural shift also, right? From our place to here.
Yeah.
You're seeing so many new things, and I think also a lot of our biases are being changed when you move, right?
Exactly, because I grew up watching a lot of English shows. I grew up watching Bollywood. I watched all the most famous movies and everything. And I thought that I was very woke. Like, I really thought I was woke. And when I was 18 and when I came to Bangalore, that's the first time that I'm being exposed to the reality that real people are bi, they're gay. This is not a concept that exists in the movies that you watch. Because in my hometown, I did not know a single person from the LGBTQ community.
Because they're scared to come
not
out.
Not a single person, because they're scared to come out. Because the society is not going to take you well in a town like that. It's very, very narrowed down. So my first experience was when a very, very close friend of mine who's bi came and told me that she likes me. Like, I wouldn't freak out if a guy came and told me that, he likes me. But if a girl's coming and telling me that she likes me, I don't know why I freaked out back then. I did not know how to perceive it. I did not know how to feel about it. I mean, I obviously knew that I didn't reciprocate, but that was about it. Like, now if it happens to me, that's about it, that I don't reciprocate. But back then, it was a shock to me. Like, oh, this is real. And this is just not something that you see in your movies. And I freaked out. And luckily for me, she had to sit down with me and she's like, see, I know that you don't have to reciprocate, but I just told you what I feel. And that's when I realized that, okay, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Which we fail to realize when we come from small towns with like very limited exposure to things like this.
Yeah, that's true. I think people, they just put it, in their head that that's not real. And, I think coming from a place like that, a lot of people keep telling us that being gay or being a lesbian is just a phase, which is not. Because I think people elder to us in that generation, they keep telling you that, if you want to try it out, you can, but you're going to have to marry a man because, that's not real.
Yeah.
Which is just
and
crazy.
You subconsciously, as much as you think you're woke, coming from a small town, you somewhere carry these things with you.
Exactly.
And you only realize that it's there in you deep down when something makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That being uncomfortable in a moment where you're exposed to something new is when you realize that, okay, you also carry it with you.
Damn,
and you have
I am
to
my
really
mom.
unlearn it. Yeah.
I am
And
like
was
my mom.
Shit.
I need
I
to
am
change.
the people I despise.
Yeah.
I have the views of the people I do not agree with.
Exactly.
And that way unlearning happens, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, we've unlearned so much.
So much. And I also feel we have the power to help our parents also unlearn. I find it so crazy and beautiful how my parents have unlearned things and how they've become these new people. Like, I love it. It was so crazy because I don't think people would actually believe it, but the first time I came to Bangalore and I had a WhatsApp DP where I'm wearing a top which is like this much, it's not even a crop top, this much, and I got calls from my dad, my mom, everyone. They're like, what are you wearing? Like, how dare you wear that? And I'm like freaking out. I'm like, what is happening? Why you guys this? All the relatives are calling us and telling you have put a picture on WhatsApp. And I'm like, yeah, I just put a normal DP. Like, that's what you do. You go to college, I'm just taking a random picture, I'm putting it. It's not even, And it was so crazy because when I used to stay at home, I had to wear a jacket when I go out. I had to wear your dupatta. Like, imagine my parents going from that to like how they are right now.
Yeah.
Which is...
I really want you to talk about your Manali trip.
Oh my
and
God.
how your parents found out about that trip. Because I
Yes.
think people need to hear that story.
Yeah, because my parents, as far as we tell, how it's, very loving and everything, Indian parents are extremely loving and very involved in their children's life. It is also helicopter parenting, right? Yeah. Indian parents are very much into that. They're very driven by the desire to protect their children. So it just brings in over-involvement, micromanaging and everything. And they cannot help it because it's also their first time. So they're also just learning how to go about things and they're so protective of you. So my parents in that case, they would never let me travel anywhere. Like, you cannot go anywhere. You're so small. How will you protect yourself? You're a girl. And I understand where it comes from. It's concern, of course. And that's when I got a shoot in Manali, like a song shoot. And obviously, since they have put all these thoughts into my head, I am also very scared to go at this point because they have like fully filled me in with fear, right? So I asked my guy friends to accompany me because as a girl in this world, apparently you need guys to come with you to feel safe. So I asked my guy friends to come with me and I go to Manali and I do the shoot and everything's so great. And being the cool it girl I am, I post on Instagram that I am in Manali, I'm doing a shoot.
And this is before your Instagram
Yeah,
blew
this
up.
is before,
This
it's
is
very...
in your third year of college.
Yeah. And then my parents see it, okay? Apparently I didn't block them well enough. And they see it. And then my dad sends me this huge paragraphs on WhatsApp. And I read it and I start crying. Like, even now I'll just tear up thinking about it. because he sends me these messages which are just so, I don't want to call it emotionally manipulative, but it was very emotional, where he's like, the context is he's like, I'm just an ATM to you at the end of the day.
I remember reading those messages because you were breaking down and you didn't know how to explain what was happening, so you just gave me your phone.
Yeah, and it was so sad because I felt so like, I betrayed my parents and everything by going on a trip, and then I had to sit down and explain to them. That was like a very big turning point in my life, because I actually sat down and I explained to them, see, this is how I am as a person. I would really like to travel. That is something I really like. And if you guys are restricting me so much in terms of you can't travel because you won't be safe, how long will I just stay, like, how long will I be afraid and just not do anything my whole life? That's also a mentality that people put into you. Don't dream big. You can't go anywhere. You stay in your safe zone. That's just unfortunate. And then after that, that whole message was so emotional to me that I made them understand that this is how it is. You guys have to let loose and, learn, like, evolve. Just, you cannot think about what relatives say anymore. Like, who is important, me or the relatives? Obviously, I am more important. So, yeah, that's how I had to talk to my dad. I think my mom also didn't talk to me for a lot of days. And then I spoke to them and I made them understand that this is going to happen. Your girl is going to travel and you better get used to it.
But it's also how you dealt with the situation. Because the same things have happened with me. And my earlier response was lying about things. Like, I've lied about. So my first Goa trip with VP, I did not have it in me to tell my parents that, okay.
Like, we tried convincing.
We tried, but it was not working. So I came up with did you come up with it or did I come up with it?
So basically, we used to stay in her hostel at that time. Meaning, when you have to leave the hostel, there's something called as a night out. That is, a message goes to your parents that your child is not staying in the hostel. So they shouldn't freak out seeing this. So we need a night out. So we need to say something. So Malu comes up with a plan that we are going to VP's farmhouse. I don't know where I got a farmhouse from. Malu's parents think I'm super rich now.
Yeah.
So he's like, we're going to VP's farmhouse with VP's cousins.
When this episode comes out, I'm really going to be answerable to my parents because I think they still think that you have a farmhouse. They do not know about the first Goa trip.
I will have soon.
After that, I did not want to lie about things. So after that, I took the approach of just telling them because I saw what happened with you.
Yeah.
But my parents obviously did not understand that, your daughter is more important than what people have to say. Are you capable of exposing your parents also to a new world?
It's a lot of effort.
It's a lot of effort because you yourself are being exposed to a lot of new things. You are unlearning.
Yeah.
And then you have to make a different generation unlearn a lot of things that they think are right.
Yeah.
Which I think I'm still a work in progress. Like, I'm not there yet. I'm still stuck in
a lot of
you reading the message from your dad face.
I think it's very commendable also how my parents have changed in that way, because they are at a certain age where, people, once they reach a certain age, they do not like change. They like to stick to their beliefs, and especially when you tell elders something, they do not want to admit that you are right, because they have lived so much more than you have. So, they don't want to accept your views. That ego will also exist. But in that case, I feel my parents have come so forward, dude. They've changed as people, evolved, and just, they're like, you know what? At the end of the day, we want you to be happy. So whatever you want us to sit and relearn, I will relearn it.
Yeah. And I think that's a breakthrough moment that you've had.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so good because now that they've understood that, I've become more closer to them in a way that I can share anything. Isn't that the end goal anyway? Our parents want us to just share anything and everything with them.
See, when I'm back home in my hometown, I feel like that's a different person. And the person that I am right now sitting in front of you, that's a different person. And that's also because when I'm going back to my hometown, as much as today I still wear the clothes that I want to wear, it still comes with conditions that, okay, you're in Bangalore, you get to wear what you want to wear. But the minute you're back home, you cannot wear the kind of clothes you wear in Bangalore. Like, it's okay if you're doing it where you live, it's okay, it's a bigger city, but in your hometown, that's not allowed. And I have a different wardrobe in Calicut because I will always, like, whatever I'm wearing right now, even this I wouldn't wear. Even though people know that, I dress a certain way.
Is it because people make you uncomfortable there? Like, do you think like the people around you make you uncomfortable, or is it a choice that you
You
make?
know, I thought it's because people around me make me uncomfortable and all, but that's not true because in Kerala we have traveled, we go to Varkala, I go to VP's place in Kollam, and I would rest however I want to. I think it's just my hometown thing, and this can happen, and I've spoken to my friends about it. This can happen to so many people from smaller towns that we feel like we're living dual lives. Like
Yeah.
we have two lives, one separate from the other.
Yeah.
And that's very conflicting. Like that
I
just
also
shakes me
think
sometimes.
when I'm back in Kerala, it's such a small place, right? My place is very small. Everyone knows each other. So when someone sees me, it's like, oh, this is that person's daughter. It's that person's, this thing.
Yeah.
So everyone knows you there. So your sense of identity is so crammed up into that. But I feel when you move to another city, it's so liberating that it's a new sense of identity. You're changing. You can reinvent yourself. You can be who you want. Like, that is happening.
For the first time in your life, you're creating an identity that's separate from being someone's daughter.
Yeah.
And from being a person who's from this household or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and that is the most liberating part about living away from home, I
Yeah,
feel.
I think so, yeah. And I also love the cultural awareness that comes with it also.
Yeah, I think it's great because you are around people who are not from the same background as you.
Yeah.
Everyone's from a different background.
Very.
Everyone's had very, very different experiences. Like, I would go so crazy when in college people would tell me about how their school life, their childhood has been. Because I can't even imagine having a life like that.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends were NRIs.
Yeah.
So it was a whole new world opened up to me with their experiences. Because what do you mean you
Yeah.
lived like that? I can't imagine.
I feel Kerala as a place is also, I feel it was a lot backward, at least my school life and everything. When these NRI kids talk about their school life, and I'm like, what do you mean you did that in 7th grade?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know how to spell things in 7th grade.
Their first exposure to vaping and smoking happened so young.
That is unfortunate.
When I was in school, I was not exposed to anything like that. When I came to colleges and I'm first seeing that, oh, women are smoking, I found it cool, but like, my parents saw that and they had a cultural shock.
I think it's like that's also why our parents are nervous and scared to send us to a bigger city, because they know that you are going to be exposed to these things and it is your daughter's choice to pick them up or not. There's only so much they can control you from far away, right?
Also, there's this whole idea about how a girl from a Bangalore girl is like.
Yeah.
And that is crazy to me because I know not just women, men, anyone in Kerala doing
the
wilder
same things, yeah.
wilder, crazier things.
Yeah.
But this whole idea about a Bangalore girl being a druggie, a girl who drinks, a girl who smokes, a girl who's very sexually active,
Yeah.
is just so wrong, because if you want to do all of those things, you will do it anyways.
Yeah.
You will do it wherever you are.
Yeah, at a point, I think all my relatives and everyone was like, Bangalore women, you're so scared to send your girls to Bangalore, they'll be sluts. And I'm like, hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just...
The idea of a Bangalore girl is also what stops a lot of parents from sending their
Yeah.
kids to Bangalore.
And even when, I think even now when rishtas and all come in Kerala, they'll be like, we don't want a girl from Bangalore.
I saw this.
As if I have a secret family here.
I saw this reel and I showed it to you also about about 3 girls from Bangalore.
Yeah.
And something that went down. And the comment section was just filled with men commenting that this is why never marry a girl from Bangalore.
Yeah.
This is why you should always check if the girl's been to Bangalore. And I was like, wait a minute. If you want to do this, you will do it anywhere.
Yeah.
It's about how you are as a person and how you want to be as a person. And
Yeah.
if you want to end up being that kind of a person, you will
Do it
that
anywhere.
eventually.
Yeah.
So it's not just about, being crazy and just getting out of hand, as they would say. It's also about creating an identity, figuring things out for yourself.
And I think Bangalore is a great place for that.
Yeah.
To reinvent yourself, to find really good friendships.
Very true friendships, being closer to your roots, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I think right now we would pay more attention to how we spend Vishu, Onam, our festivals, like exposing our friends who are not from our culture to the culture that we grew up in. I think that is what we are doing.
As we're coming to the end of our episode, we cannot leave without making some room for South.
Room for South is our segment where we will be bringing our culture a little bit closer to you. Movies, like songs, artists, books, anything that's from South which we want the rest of the world to know.
Yeah. So today I think our theme is living away from home and moving from a small city to a bigger city. And a movie that resonates with this, which we really love and we really feel every one of you should watch at least once, is the movie Janeman, starring Basil Joseph. He's such an exceptional actor. And even the themes of this movie, it's just so beautiful. It blends in together so well. It's mostly about isolation, right? Like that's the underlying theme, but it's a comedy movie.
It's a very funny movie.
Yeah.
Like it's hilarious.
Yeah,
well.
It portrays a lot of serious issues, but in a very funny, ironic way, which makes it so beautiful. So the base theme of this movie is that he's a nurse who goes to Canada to work, and he suffers a lot from isolation and depression, and he's just navigating through it. And once he comes back home, how he's constantly wanting validation and just some joy. He wants to fill his name is Joy in the movie.
Yeah, his name is Joy.
Yeah, and he wants to fill the void in his life. So he comes all the way back to throw a birthday party.
Yeah, because that's how out of place he's felt and isolated he's been, and you just feel homesick. I think the movie
he is so homesick that he's constantly calling people, but everyone's busy. They've done it so well where when he comes back and he's trying to do a birthday celebration, at the very same time a funeral happens in the opposite house, and it's how both of it is clashing and colliding but also going well together, and how all the characters are just coming together. And also there is a very underlying theme which comes at the end where you're like, wait, what? So this movie is not about this, it's about something else.
Yeah.
So I think you guys should definitely watch it, because
and let us know as a non-Malayali how you think about the movie.
Yeah.
Because that's something I really want to know.
Yeah, because I feel the ending is so heartwarming and heart-touching that I cried during the ending of the movie actually, because it was so heartwarming for me to just watch it. So I think you guys should definitely watch this movie. So as two girls who have completely lost the plot, I think you can expect a lot of topics relating to how to navigate life in your 20s from this podcast. It'll also be a little bit of a big sister advices coming, because I think we are ready to give advices now.
And I think that's what we would have needed at that point of time.
Exactly.
But we had to figure it out ourselves, so you can figure it out with us.
Yes.
So if you liked our first episode, then like, share and subscribe.
Even if you didn't like it, please like, share and subscribe.
And follow us both on Instagram and Lost the Plot.
Yes, we will be posting a lot of fun content there.
Also tune into Spotify, you can find us there. So that was it. Bye bye.
Bye guys.